And about the so far grounds to say.
Oh, Nyamina Adom, maybe chassis no jet or Demichia Mebusiafo.
Okay.
Or yeah, Central Region phone, all the delegates, all the people, the Doma water mechi. When I want support him, on I watch him crack, say, Mammy Jumazin, Medahonina say. Nyame wa mayasora na peze na ejumaza oda he nyimen oda ye mo oyeye. So ohia nyide wa ma power etum ezehwe wo nkrofo etum ezebu ikwan ma won etum ebua hon ma hon so wonya ho wa achefa wo bibia ayeyem ono na ye kande oye governance nti ye bompa ye de mosi oda ye ma honen ye be ya ma hon so wetum ejina ho na do akande ampa penyin bi ben na achefa obeye oye ma oso enyi nti na nde metina ha metum kande wonyame mu won kwerimun Roko makosom monkrofo cause pede ezi wenyima we de esom hon nti mresom hon ma esom ayeye nti ana pezi michia hon nyina na michia mebusuafo so
Mati ebusuafo Alfred Thompson out in Kano contested for the Central Regional Chairmanship position our New Patriotic Party mu. Now Anthony Nukpenu a Greater Accra Regional Organizer at the NDC. Tony memwakwaba
me jesu mini abema Christian Sempa
bibi aboko de
bechu.
Hey, when you have position now addresses that.
So where there?
Hey, more by Mukra now dresses say you. And as Cano now, what they go home, go position. I know you are
dressing at a Madrid Bukasa, and I say, Mobutu Sese.
Oh, Senator,
I'm a senator, so I have to be in the senator way.
Wow. Oh, that's well, Nyameti Ase.
Now, what to say?
Oh, Nyame
Beye.
Ah,
and now I ye.
Nyame Beye.
Okay. Over
there. I'm saying, Uncle Pondi, there
problem.
It's still in the miracle.
Trodian Ponana, I said that PSC Bemano.
Amen.
Was a yen not doom in the Mobro Humbia.
Amen.
And Kayan at 34
sharp
assassin. So, in Tia Dasida Bemano. In as much as Nipa, and I'm on to Nipa. Amamu enyefe ediniama ense fata edi titi abrabo krampo no yebeda na se say they wasumdwe ye wonkwa ebi mu ewusika by this time kwa oxygen esi omoso ti mimi nisika na say me nyankwa I'm freshly breathing and I'm healthier. I need to give that glory to the Lord. Amen. Ma tadi da na me they start the training kakana masha. I'm praising God for the life He has given me. Amen. Yeah.
You know, but Yasi Anthony Nukpenu out in Kano. He said, "Okrapuma." Well, a Greater Accra Regional Organizer Emma NDC. It's about 20 minutes after 9. Quickly, you best start it. Alfred, you started with Operation Clean Your Frontage in the Greater Accra Region. Abba, I think this is part of my Penny agenda. So, be making Accra the cleanest city, Anna.
Oya nukwe onde enya Henry Kwoti wakasa wo ho anape na nsem okan ye de obia ye de at least baby a ewoze oya de wenyim na wechi na won chenchen se ebia ewo last house na bibia ye hu de eho ye neat na zawaka no so oya de abane yen wetum wa ye amayen. Because at the end of the day, no, you be making sure there, the country, especially Greater Accra, the biggest city so far, no, is neat. Na say obia nchen on to me ye na eho asaya na oriyama waye nya kakra because health is very important. I bet when they say as a wuhoifu on fawu ana nra bi shell gatem na on magata na chok on fawu na aban baba be ye everything ya aban. Yes, aban wo na seza ode wo ye. But here so ode ye bi say yen hu de za ye yen osefata ana because eket na ho na ehwa asay na yer baba how no be you first. Sika how no be say first. Inti what can we do to prevent some of these yerba naza ochien? The basic thing is cleanliness and a clean environment. Yeah, dema Obama obia no haton wo hu beto wo mba hu beto won obi ote wo nchen hu beton in here na yete area ho ye hu beton yen nti ye besre ya pa woncho de onye aza oyezin onye aza onye yenye bida. Every time, government after government, they are always talking about how clean we should be, how our environment should be clean. Ebeshe no bi wafa insu na rabbits na zewom weko hwe gugate bim na gata na ye choked. Ebeshe na hwe kogum obi repra opra ko gugatem with ahia na zinyi na ebisa wonde abaz no rokodo. Ne nra de okotugu wo bolado na ebeshe na oza aka gugatem na gata na ye choked. And then it will start breeding mosquitoes na other you start getting malaria, then we start spreading all these little diseases and infections are all around the cholera and things will start rising. So it's very essential, it's very, very critical. There or de ubia or shene daning or shene daning chen or shene gatema or daning chen honaze. Let's get that communal thing again. Let us make sure that zayen or babwa yenina because onye nipa kroneze. Ghana onye nipa krona says there we don't make sure there everywhere is neat. Yenina yesum bia yesum ye pompam soma na obiye. Inti medase there a regional minister and president we take them initiative there operation keep your frontage clean. Yembo mozen na yen support them agenda na yenina yen make sure the yen frontage is clean. Za all come or there companies like Zoom Lion and other companies who also best on yes so Ariano so figure tenma my fan Google tan in chen where yenim that at the end of the day since to say siana a friend and a win numpo blower oba hwe bi egu gata no back yen fan go baby at least yenyim the obaba beso akwa na yen fan fill some of these little holes other yen enyim na zen so we get a nice and clean environment obabua yen nyina ma mpuntun wa akodo ye.
Marty, Alfred Thompson out in Canada, MPP Central Regional Chairman, hopeful. And Otese or Casanwa joining a high Adom 106.3 FM, Dwaso Nsem. Anthony Nukwenu, a Greater Accra Regional Organizer, Emma NDC. Tony, Operation Clean Your Frontage. Nigeria say this is a good cause. Our MPP most NDC most supporting.
Well, but that's me. Didn't chairman chef for no pay. I believe say cleanness. They say. And only nyamesum very cordial.
Next to godliness.
Yes. And it's also udo nyankopon osum no akwanya osum nyame faso na ye wo ne nyame ntemsem but say ube ma wo apom umpontem bebia wo ebetini ebe yefe ebe yi yare ebe yi ohaw if you no it shouldn't be obini share. Yes, what to me do huni. Enti over the years, you try, but the attitudinal behavior of the human race, I said, Dano, this is a kind of say, we need to create environmental, so, Emra, Henry Cotti, so for share greater Cramantem. Edi sine nisu or born to or engage to get the consent and the collaboration from all walks of life, all stakeholders. So we need to trigger another dimension of getting our environment clean, safe, and healthy so that we can minimize the spread of sicknesses, diseases, and all these communicable diseases. We all embrace it. We all at the round table. We all agree by. So we all embrace the legislation to the various assemblies, made inputs. The legal brains made the various legal insertions. So, and in my time to sensitize, educate, to make sure say train Ghana for to do a war. The corridors of the Greater Accra region, I remember to say something like this is coming. Most of the time, initiatives say fairly because you're too mampamrika. You're engaging Krofu before coming. Before say implementing and engaging them at the same time, will meet the right target. And at the end of the day, it becomes a 9-day wonder. But this time, having engaged from somewhere July, September, we also say, look, let's give a term. The assembly should go, make public announcement, educate people through the corridors of the religious sectors. Asofu form brim, imams in brim, dinsi form brim, ahimfu, the schools, the market leaders. So this was what was agreed, and we first said 1st February, a very good time. Said it will be rolled out gradually, and people will buy into it. So Nyamia Adom say one man in the team for today to arrive, and they are rolling it out. We are all in full support, and we call on every Ghanaian, everybody within the facets of Greater Accra region. Let's all support it. It's not an MPP agenda, neither will it be an NDC agenda. It is a Ghana agenda. Getting Ghana clean has no color, because the diseases that kill us has no color. Malaria, Kumni party say, but malaria, no matter the medicine or beko ebemanu, so uyi ugotemu na insiona a stagnating or producing malaria. No sense you won't get malaria. When you take the weed around your house, the rubbish around your house, all these things, you nip them in the bud. Until every Ghanaian from all the 29 district, municipals, and metro within the Greater Accra region. Sorry, yourself. How clean is your environment? Be near now in Asutri. We in Asutri on ya. The municipal health directorate to go and make a complaint. Don't be afraid, because say you're anything if you about her. And I believe say gradually, say sama no bar. It will take us to a level so that we'll all be say we need to any society, and I believe it will go a long way to help all of us.
Right, Tony Medase, 29 minutes after 9, Adom 106.3 FM, Dwaso Nsem Tuesday edition, Mpensenpensenmu ni ade bro, yemfase da kase ma webacall talisman, o ye Tyler, now bese o totals, ma eni da ho ye fefefe, ehye kama, eno ane webacall talisman the promo about, we say we $200 ye ma, ye 5 free. Na what they call anti-bombarding neko to webacall tile cement. Well, Alfred Thompson, MPP Central Regional Chairman, hopeful, and Anthony Nupeni, a Greater Accra Regional Organizer. Young Kotu, UTAG strike. Alfred, University Teachers Association of Ghana, indeed, Omako strike. Here, Friday, exactly 21 days. I say universities free and likely say universities might close down. Dear Crown hand here buying to meet your demands.
Azepa, that's it.
Me too.
It's sad, say this has been ongoing for over 20 days without any headway. If you realize that government has been doing a lot to make sure that they meet the demands on every sector of the economy, definitely there will be hitches here and there. Understandable when the hitches come, but for others to use it as a bait to worry our own children's future, especially where we've had this situation COVID Akodo for almost 2 years and has spoiled all the academic calendars, has spoiled the educational cycle of the children. We expect the journalists, whilst they are fighting their cause, they'll compromise a bit and make sure that at the end of the day, Moframan won't dachi here. Because we shouldn't forget that whatever we are doing and whatever we are fighting for, when our children are affected now, one dachi, these children are fighting with the global world. So whatever we do would affect their future outside this country and so many places. Answer the government or take over, there were so many things and we shouldn't forget that this is a backlog they are fighting for. It's a government in a ban or share one research as and they had even put an embargo on their research under the previous government. The one research allowance won't because of certain a one market premium as I work and was him. You share them as in I think at that time that one research allowance was 500. On was embargo to do the won't on because they are looking at other things, other ways of helping them get better. And now you're moving from 500 to 1,500 plus. Then it's been renegotiated. Yeah, all the necessary guidelines are when you Fair Wages and Salaries Commission. When you not say there, worry to make sure that we don't have any problem with it. Into them guidelines, no puna bikita wahan. Who they work under the premium of the single spine, and now we decided that them in 1 year mahon boom. The market premium nazen. We sort out all these things like what we did for the teacher training and the nursing training. We promised them and we came and we looked at it. Until at least if that goodwill is there, that this government has at least put you back on that pedestal and they are helping you to reach to that level or there. And as you can see, it was April 2013. Signed by the then president of this republic, John Dramani Mahama, and they put all these embargoes and everything on it. That they are not going to give them all those premiums now.
Read the content of this thing and
Alfred, what
thank you. And the others fine. Intimate them. Eshiacho ekita wumpuma. Intimate a akokrabia or you're mischievous and then you're a nice guy. May them. Ain't he? Why you sit down with the government. The government has told you that, listen, at the end of the day, we are looking at other things. It's not just you. We are looking across board. When we say we are going to go into details, there are so many things that will come up and it will be as if a banter be. We are not looking at the banter situation. We are looking at the children's future. And that is why we always plead with them that, listen, at the end of the day, there are rules and regulations. Like you want the children to respect the rules and regulations of every institution. You should also do same. You sat down with a friend, then apart from fair wages, NLC. Yeah. NLC has told you that, listen, go back and let's continue with the negotiations. These are things that are ongoing. You don't finish negotiations in a day. It's not a one-day situation. So why do you want that young man, that young girl who has a bright future, who is going to compete in the global world, why do you want them to suffer for something we are already talking about?
No, but I think Madrid there at least with MPP telling Ghanaians say you have the men. So more banner negotiation, NDC take you 1 year to finish negotiation with the men that you have, and you say we use the same 1 year.
It's not 1 year. That is why I told you. That is why I told you that
you solve problems within.
That is why I told you that something like their market premium now and the 500 that it was, we moved it straight away to 1,500. That is 200% increment immediately to make sure that yes. And that is not the only thing. There are so many other things. Benefits are why just amount.
No, but so why just benefits are now they are calling for this particular one. Market premium 114. Yes, restore us Fayen Koho so that at least we'll be cool. We need it.
You don't just get up and do things because if everyone is calling, then the government is going to be at a stop and say that, listen, let's meet everyone's demands.
No, it doesn't work that way. There's a government. That is why we have the money.
We have the men. We have the money. Doesn't mean that you just go about spending.
Oh, so
you negotiate.
Every unnecessary spending.
I say you just go about spending. Obia kademe pedema na examen. Oba wofie say also no bi sa de mamshu na akotwa.
Bambocho.
You look at the conditions.
Mabacho, is the shoe a need? Ma wo bi say or you need or bobua one way to deliver.
That is why you sit down and negotiate with them. That okay, me pay them, me to mama them at this time. You be them at this time. You be move from this level to that level. Even the research and book allowance, they've pegged it at about $1,600 equivalent. And then by 2024 or so. So it tells you that there is some negotiation going on, and there is that goodwill there. At the end of the day, we are looking at how we can make sure that everything is going well.
Okay.
The research allowance, in 2020, it was about 500, move it to 2005. In 2021, it should be 2,500. 2022, 6,000. 2023, 8,000, and CD equivalent of 1,600 in 2024.
Thompson, a meeting of
so
some
it tells
professors.
you, and all these professors have signed.
Okay, a meeting of some professors and were easily gone. Were friend McCoy. Then I was asking about Argentina, at least, just listen to what government is saying, go back to the classroom. Now, one of the professors also said, but you see, if you sit on radio, instead of you to talk for us, you side with government. And I'm going to say, why? I'll say, this is a government. Or no, say, or judge if you are on phone, he'll go at any length to make sure they're watching. Why is it that yen demand in a day? You will near heaven and the answer back. And I say, okay, give me one example of what government. I'll say, look at e-levy. Ghana for Kandema, but still government is bent on making sure that
so I'll leave it at that.
So if Abani then you are telling us that what is due us, is that what you are saying? Okay, this is not it for that. In the least or the way baby. But how would you address such concern of a professor?
Aban is not going at any length to demand, and that is why you realize that quite recently the Minister for Finance, the Minister for Communication, and the Minister for Information were them public address and to explain why there is the need for e-levy. If it's they are buying rain or shine or far, by now say I pass ya call ya baby ajam. But we are saying say they need to be that public education. The public has also stated say 1.75 no doors. Until is about 1.5 umpo and now one and anka oyema. They've looked at all these things. They are working on it. Into onyaza ebetuma kande rain or shine abane say wopo wompo e-levy na ana word into nine. For a professor to say this and they should look at this as a brighter or bigger perspective. They shouldn't look at it and say, okay, then I'm going to deal with the Aban and I'm going to hurt the Aban. At the end of the day, you are not hurting only the Aban, you are hurting the whole country. You are hurting the whole nation.
Yes, but
you are hurting the international. No, you are hurting the international community.
The children.
Listen, I told you something. I said that listen. At the end of the day, this Aban has had goodwill with you. They've helped you. They've sorted things out for you. When you talk, they listen. They've done things for you. This research and book allowance, who would move it from 500 to 1,005 just like that? Who would do that? Apart from giving you other increments, they increase it from 500 to at least at most 1,000. But they looked at the whole situation and said, no, why? Let's do it for them. And they did it. And they've given you the progress, warrior. At the end of the day, what negotiate, what happened there. Okay, as I hear you better make sure that we do. Do you want to bring the whole government machinery to a halt? Do you want to do that? Is that what we need? Because at the end of the day, necessary doctors prison wardens soldiers and then Aban say, okay, then what happens? Then we come to a halt. The whole nation comes to a halt. Because you should match your revenue against your your income against your expenditure to see where you meet and how you can make sure that you leverage it well. Or we want to always keep on go out and borrowing to come and pay revenues. Let's be realistic and let's be serious about these things.
But don't you think that Ghana will hold on because of promises I will make here?
What promises? Did we come and say that you are going to increase professorships and lectures and their fees by 100%?
Promises that you will sky able to buy.
Yes, we have money locally, and that's why we are looking at the e-levy. And I'll explain it to you. We have money locally that we can tap into. What we are saying is that let us stop this idea of our idealistic AU of then we spread it over 10-20 years. Now be a bit. It's hurting us. We have enough resources. You better be turning into money. You better be use to satisfy so many things, which you are doing. But it takes time because you don't just transform your resources from fiscal or natural things into cash. You need to make sure that the rules and regulations you are putting in place will not hurt anyone in the future.
Matty.
And these are things that government gradually they are putting in place. It takes time. As I will be say 8 years, I say to me for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, in any year, and 10 and around overnight. It takes time. And we expect everyone to get on board. Why isn't? But at the end of the day, obey a year.
One can't check Ghana for that. It takes time in opposition.
Minya, you can't obey because you're and we are doing it. We are doing it. It takes time. We are doing it.
Doing it is different from yaye.
It been in negotiation. Me pay them. Me to me more them. Me to me share what them kwano do. Do them I will break a car or do them time ya must be control them.
Okay.
These are negotiations, and that is why I say it takes time because on also now they be me imagine says here, imagine them says here, oh fuck control man. These are things that only one day Juma. It takes time. Into mesre as I hear yen dream dache ho, yen dream hemba ho, yen dream the future of this country, the future of the name that you are putting for this country. Or do time be na echo alata one education. No yamunyo because of them strikes na zen. So they started bringing their children to Ghana universities and things. Don't let us do the same to destroy our universities and the good education we have in this country because people respect our education. Let us not destroy it because of money.
Alfred Thompson, medase bebre. Alfred Thompson, MPP Central Regional Chairman, hopeful, and I'll tell you, it's about 15 minutes at the top of the hour. Hi, Adom 106.3 FM. Tony, now we're brown, nothing.
We brown friends. Let's not. You have destroyed the country, and you are calling on who not to destroy what?
Yeah, I might destroy a country in what sense?
Omana ebutu, Omana. So it won't take the dons of our academia to destroy the education because the government led by Akufo-Addo has destroyed Ghana's education.
How?
By the kind of talks he did before, during, and after 2016 election. I don't know what they done run. And then what this is saying. I don't know the Kobo Busiano, and then the Chiene. You told people, Nia, woo, me nyindi da, and ya fina mi babe. So the kind of promise that you brought on board that convinced the people of this country from the academia to everywhere to vote for you, when you told the people of Ghana, say it will be out of incompetence for Mahama not to pay research allowance because he has mismanaged the economy, yet isikasuna yebre sikano waha mimi kobo busia. And if the dons today are asking for what is due them, because when I would have been glad if you had read the whole document than the mischief you played with the document. So you will see the roadmap that the erstwhile NDC administration set up in the implementation of all these conditions that the academia was demanding from government. So then a projection of how the economy will grow and as and when what should be yours. Again, so they were getting money from their own individual institutions. The IGF was supporting. And now, but once I got Tamo IGF, so Libre Bank, you've capped the IGF of the universities. Every institution a bank or copy or musica. So you tie the people's hand behind and you say they should take the empty stomach and go and teach you. Have you seen a hungry man working before? So it is in the best interest of the young ones in the university today to even go and do their own study on the net, because say court and really say the dons should go back to class. So what really? Because Kariman teacher, you can afford it. Government should be honest.
Is that what you are saying? And
come to the table. As we speak now, 20 days into strike, have you heard the president spoke about this strike? Have you heard the vice president? It's only the education minister who doesn't know his left from his right, who makes statements you don't even know what he's saying.
On to me, Kase will name the left from the right. No.
Has he been able to?
No. But Tony, no.
I challenge you to tell me one thing Educhum has said that has inspired the lecturers to even say, "Oh, this is an assurance from the minister."
Oh, but the fact say openly, on can be say some talks and negotiations being.
These were the people who were calling Professor Nana Jane as nobody. So when I call them nobody, I don't see why you want to take me on.
No, I'm not taking you on. They make us say, "Okay, say on him the left from."
Because he hasn't said anything that is assuring. Only you should Ofosu Asamoah to think say the NLC has the power to. You can say the people should go back to class. It is one thing saying Seminko class in Chiradi. It's one thing to find out whether me what class I'm teaching. Only in this country, an organization be a on their remuneration and salary. You see the NLC telling them say it's illegal. But NLC has never concluded negotiation in any sector, but always telling people they have embarked on illegal strike. Look at the years. Last year, look at the number of times UTAC ama aban say ya de wo hoi emra so say wodi bemaye esan say what to petrol mu eduane boy head. Every facet of our life is hardening. Ye kakra wo ho so no person de bemaye omukwa na see edasi. I don't think UTAC is doing anything untoward. It has come a time government must be committed to the table. Say the end to this negotiation come to the fore, so that every lecturer will also be happy. Because as lecturers, they also pay school fees to their wards. They rent. They buy fuel into their cars. Are you getting me? Bibia omukoju. It is any kakra or the beko eba. And so now niesa umanu. No, Bisa. I don't think they are doing anything untoward. You know, one thing I would like these professors to do to help this country. When they call them to sit on that Article 71 committee, they should stop it.
I didn't.
Why should it be so? You go and negotiate fat cow salary for politicians, and you sit in universities and you are poor. What goes into their mind when they sit and draw that Article 71 salaries? The politician themselves should go and draw it. Let's see. Any professor that is called to be a chairman of a committee to draw 4-year salary adjustment to Article 71 should call the bluff of the president. And yeah, we committee now. So every 4 years we see the amount of money. Which I know this percentage about is only 2.5% of GDP, or say 0.25% of GDP. Who told them that? The country must be reset, because never be breakoswa NFN. The reason why you have thousands of us graduates having come out of the various tertiary institutions, but we are unemployable, because the lecturer, the TA, that man, that woman, I saw back classroom, ever in party that required and good knowledge in me to become productive to society, because on one the remuneration as sitremu nyenti oba go on this, go and download this. So at the end of the day, we all enter tertiary institutions. All we do is that we chew poor, we pass, and we come out. So the job market is lacking the requisite knowledge and skills, which we need to bring from the tertiary institutions. So it's high time we give what is due the man who is going to impart that knowledge into that young man who born or acquire knowledge from a higher institution to become productive society. So when the man who is teaching the child is happy, is okay, he's ready to do the proper research, get the right material that is contemporary to the modern world. If we are seeing we need to research into how the world is moving today and get the right material to impart in the knowledge, to give that knowledge to the children. Not 1614 theories. What 1614 theory? What is it? How is it compatible to the world today? And then 1614 theory machines use the media. Say this theory who was about waking out in how they. So let's not push lecturers to continue depending on old materials. Other than that, we will have people being churned out from tertiary institutions, not being city with the world today. Let's give what is due them. Let them devote the time and material and the world niko. Nan korano sutimi nyasa no. That's why I'm here. Onu so betimi di necessity bu say metimi yawe eboa me ho. You will not come become dependent on government. Having a government because them say mintua e levy. No kwa you start, which is something which is nyasa biasu you start. They just say it. Wow. Naming. This government is only naming things, but the implementation is zero. We need children to come from the tertiary institutions and take the challenge of the world and be able to build something on their own, not to come and be dependent on government to be civil servants.
STEM,
what?
STEM.
We see this government is only good in renaming. STEM, Ghana.
Oh, but at least much to build it, right from
building hot
to. Oh, building what? The ultramodern STEM building now, Mokati Sword or MVT.
I didn't remember.
I be boy be mansa no juma.
Building. How many years has he lived in this country? MVT building no.
Yeah, by the way, don't move sinos from scratch.
Almost see what cry high go ha. Then Nangpanduri when yahu faso how?
Oh, beba say nkakra.
Me see
because it's going to
Nakpechu be yahu faso saying. This is the thing this government is only interested in. Flamboyant launching and commissioning and groundbreaking. That is all. Look, there was this building that was open at Peki. This business information center. What was that buildings? No? Mm-hmm. There's an information incubation center. And it was funded by European Union or something. You know what the president did? They went there to open it in the night. And you see the lights. So he gave the people a certain environment. They thought it was something nice. Today that thing is sitting as a white elephant. The last time when the people were so I did where president because what is he doing to our life today? Because the idea behind this thing, business incubation center, how well did we tutor the people through for them to know, say, oh, I need to go here, find out information about business? It is not there. The building is empty. In Konyampo. So this kind of buildings, let's build this and that is all. It is not what is good for our education. The basics are rotten. In Koranya classroom, who build this STEM near the heading. STEM have lived with us for how many years? Science resource centers came out of STEM. Am I lying? Mibwa. TV centers, did they come out of STEM? How well have the policy been treated to sit into the life of me and you? It is not a building we build in Accra here. And you know the teacher that is going to teach from that STEM curriculum, how well is the teacher being seated to make sure say documents no ati assemble the knowledge in Mobi, the transfer of knowledge. How is it well put together? Teacher no so no ni 3 cd 5 cd 10 cd be faka every okwegono ako manjo ako chira koradia. How well is that teacher going to practicalize whatever building you've put up into the life of the Ghanaian child? And you know here, after a bandway led by Akufo-Addo, it's a sham. A government that has no focus, only interested in putting up things that will inure to their pockets. So they are interested, yes, let's procure cars, consumption. Ni akoche, uche kan nekosi school mu or energy abrabo papa be school nu.
Tony me that's it. That's some drink.
It's a shame. We are losing it all. And never again should these people have the mandate to rule this country again.
Anthony Nubano, Memoir Kasapa, a Greater Accra Regional Organizer at the NDC. Well, it was your sending me information. Beyonce Asempa, good morning. Is fuel price up this morning, or I'm not seeing well? I know we're trying for India, man, super 7.130, diesel 7.090. And a V power 7.490. Wow. Whoa. Quite interesting. Anyway. Well, me da si bebre say o send the information we ma me hebia we before baby call up obetimi amehu later me activate phone lines now. But Alfred Brema me make us now about chinko. Full price cost wrong.
MTBB say Enra they were announcing or they said somewhere say fuel prices will go up, but I don't know whether it's gone up that astronomically.
Okay, so at least I can read this letter from NPA or the comma the OMCs we National Petroleum Authority MPA/PPR/RTP/01/12 31st January 2022 distribution see list below or say restoration of the price stabilization and recovery levies on petrol, diesel, and LPG, effective 1st February 2022. And I must say we refer to our letter dated 11 January 2022 on the subject matter, extension of the zeroing of price stabilization and recovery levy from the price build-up to 31st January 2022. I'll say, as per the said letter mentioned above, the National Petroleum Authority, NPA, informed you that government had approved an extension of the removal of the PSRLS on petrol, diesel, and LPG for another month after the original 2-month removal ended on 31st December 2021. We hereby wish to inform all oil marketing companies and LPG marketing companies that effective 1st February 2022, the PSRLS on petrol, diesel, and LPG have been fully restored. Not just but now they have restored it. And I say,
when I say this guy is a sham, it's a deceitful government.
Oh, deceitful saying, I would make kind idea.
Who can idea? So at the pump this morning right now, who call pumper?
Yeah.
This is 7.09.
I until MPA crowd the way
7.13.
Me pacha me ba. I must say petrol 16 pesos, Ebeko up by 16 pesos. Diesel 14 pesos, LPG 14 pesos. And this was the letter that Mustafa Hamid, PhD, signed. But why all this restoration, Alfred? Number one, we remove him, we restore benchmark values. So, and also one Sembe Yebe Brittle Mampeni stepping in, say, Yanchin sign for further consultation. Why? I don't know. At the end more year, now say more chair sign.
Oh, say it was stated in the letter that it was for a period, wasn't it?
Yes, and the second one said the extension.
Yeah, they are extending it because they felt there all these taxes now also no. They should extend it a bit. If the prices of crude is going up on the world market, let's extend this tax rebate amount for no, so people would enjoy the at least tax benefit on fuel. Because we are a listening government. We feel at the end of the day, once fuel prices go up, it affects everything. So we need to also manage the situation in such a way that we don't just agree, say, okay, go ahead, just be charging the taxes and then government gets money revenue out of it. No, that is not what we are looking at. And when the professor says that if this government wants something, they go at all costs. Because then he hasn't really looked at this government.
No, but
we are looking at the government signing agreement. Say in 5 years' time, I'll give you market premium. Knowing very well, say in 5 years' time, we are not in office.
Okay,
this is a deceitful person. In 5 years' time, I'll give you market premium. Because right now I'm putting things in place, I'm putting the economy on track. So give me 5 years, I'll give you market premium, and I'll sign an agreement with you. You think it's not deceitful? That is what you call the highest point of deceit. Knowing very well that your second term will be that fifth year and you wouldn't be there. And this was signed in about 2013. And you come and sit here and tell us that this government is the government who is more deceitful than you? When you go and sign an agreement, knowing very well that the time of the approval of that agreement and not the time agreement take effect, you are not in office because you finish your term. You finish your term. Please.
Why? Are you saying, sir? MPP say move free offices here. There is nothing that you sign that will be binding.
If the economy was good in 2013, why didn't he give them their market premium at that time? Why did he place a ban on it? Why did he put a on it, say, my year market premium, says, give us 5 years. I'm putting the economy on track and give it to you.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. And then modern policies be bar for Ghanaians to enjoy. And him say about enjoy, but later, no must see a recoup from us.
Which policy?
Okay, so number one, during COVID, more free water, free electricity. Later, we got to know say free.
It's free. For that 6 months, it was free.
No, but I'm so bad.
No, for that 6 months, it was free.
But yes,
So what are you talking about?
It was free as a bait.
Yes.
And
no, it wasn't a bait.
And later,
as a bait for what?
Mote.
As a bait for what?
Mote.
As a bait for what?
Me bacho mote.
Right now we are charging you electricity and water.
Increased from tomorrow.
Oh please. When you are sitting here and you are talking about people wanting their salaries increased, you think electricity, water, and everything, they also don't want their charges increased? So every person wants their everything increased. And that is why I'm telling you that we cannot be doing this. And that is why government, even here, is telling you that, listen, even the taxes on the fuel, I've taken it. I'm taking it as a jab to myself. Because at the end of the day, if everything is going to be increased just like that, everything is going to go haywire. And that's why you have a leader. Say, listen, give me this, let's do this. Let's go this way, let's manage this. That is how you manage the system. You don't just get up and do things and sign agreements for the next 5 years, knowing very well that and then mobile sign, okay, you know what? I'm going to give you 10,000 every month for your market premium. Let's agree, say it will start in 2026. Don't worry. Knowing very well that he's not in office by 2020, you think that is not a deceitful person?
Government would
you think that is not, if by that time the economy is not that stable for you to do it?
I'm thinking about breaking the 8. Intimo breaking 8 and I still young.
I'm giving you an example. Even if he agrees on that and signs that AU with them, at the end of the day, 2026, he is not the president of this country. It is deceitful. So he will not do such a thing. He will rather sit down with you and negotiate and tell you that, listen, these are the things I'm doing. This is where we should see the economy by this time. This is what we are doing now for you. So that you are cushioned, I'm cushioned. That is how a good leader behaves and operates. Not being deceitful and hiding under covers and doing what he or she likes.
Okay.
And I'm disappointed in him. Or can say, you go see buildings your friends, the incubator project, the people are not benefiting from it. You see, he's behaving like that small boy. They've done this nice incubator projection or projects. You are to move to the office to be trained, to be taken through.
Why never say move it to the office?
The people who need the AE. It's not everybody who needs it.
I know, but
it's not everybody. Listen, if you are working here, do you need any? You need to establish your own company.
No, but what I'm saying is, for the business incubation now, why when was so moving?
People who need it.
So people who need, what's the criteria? Because to me, sorry,
the leader of that institution.
Yeah.
definitely once they open the office, we'll go on radio.
Who appointed? When they appointed Sally?
Can I finish?
Yeah.
We'll have the chance to have interviews and we'll explain the criteria and how you can apply and how you can come into it.
Okay.
It's like telling me, say, you start, no, you go from office to office. Now you can't job, say, bra. Now you start to sign, no, into beje way. The person who is in charge of that is going to go on air and telling you the criteria. Those who wish to apply, this is how you go through. This is what we are going to do for you. Then you would have to move to the office to apply for it.
Okay.
You don't cook and put the food in the person's mouth wherever he is. Now you can say 30 million Ghanaians. Obia internet if you na yeba ufia be training. Please, let's be serious and realistic.
Tony, quickly.
I can understand the pressure that which my brother is on this morning. Is it easy to communicate for a failed government? I've been in this shoe before.
Oh, so your government
when your government is back,
my government is not failing.
And there's pressure. The communication, it doesn't add. I sympathize with him. In 2015, 2016, when Dwaso was at the peak, and people will not understand anything we say, to even explain the roadmap to in ending Dwaso, we've been upset. You know how it was. I can understand him this morning. None of these incubation centers even have the human resource. They require human resource that will even incubate the people. They are not even there. Incubating. Two, the logistics and the materials needed. These buildings, it came as a grant to government, and they were cars. The cars, when you go to the Ministry of Trade, and they've used the cars here. They didn't even send it to the centers for the officers that are appointed to even use to even traverse the length and breadth of the districts to even orient and conscientize people on why this building is even sitting here. That is how you failed, because you inherited a project. You didn't even understand what it is. You will not even take time to study. So when I'm telling you how you have failed in implementing this whole trade incubation of young Ghanaian starters, so this you start, you not even moot it in the first place because it is not sensible idea in the first place, because we have the structures there. You are not implementing the structure. You are telling me to pay e-levy for what you start. You came and changed yes into NEP. What did you do? All this money should have been channeled into these sectors, but because of consumption, today you have increased fuel, or China you are increasing electricity. So you are hardening us up and tell me say ECG require medical with momo crampono tax. This is how reckless this government, this whole governance structure of Akufo-Addo is. And then say you can make a lot of revenue. One, the tax exemption regime in this country alone, if government wants to make money, giving tax exemption to cronies, friends in this country, say government can make billions of dollars without coming to tax my mumu. Are you getting me?
No.
Buying seed or reducing expenditure. Why? So reducing expenditure. And they catch up and say, me by just met Mpensenpensenmu Akufo-Addo at Apenkwa.
Now catch you.
19 V8. You need maybe oko.
Now what time 25?
19 V8. 7 moto bikes, 19 V8. And all the train
what time you 25 years?
So warehousing regime, warehousing of goods. Government can make billions of dollars. So there are things government can do to get enough than taxing momo. Secondly, this pressure for recklessness of expenditure. World Bank my $100 million COVID. I buy let me say or the $100 million set or Veronica bucket, tissue, nose mask. Do you know the amount of companies $100 million could have built to produce plastic Veronica bucket, nose mask, tissue? Me say minimum crabit me see about 10 because $10 million can build a factory that will produce plastic bowls and those things. $10 million can build more than 4 plants that will produce nose mask and tissue paper in this country. But government of Ghana taking $100 million from World Bank, so they are quarters and Yamawi.
God help this man.
Chop. $2 billion. Yeah, the first one, $1 billion rapid credit, and inside another $1 billion in COVID. Nijina wefa. Eti government wait here. Niombe ye chobo enwa. Chobonu enwa. As you speak now, every infrastructure government we say I am backing on. You have not paid the contractors. About also revenue projection. Our budget this year only 105 billion cedis. But who quest to spend the opposite would D 137 billion. Why are you going to get the 36 billion? Why should you sit home? Say my salary at 1,000 Ghana cedis, but a month you must spend 1,500 Ghana. Who can get 500 money? That is the government of Akufo-Addo. And Alfred Thompson, as a financial man, what being finance mupa? What being? You don't sit here and make this kind of argument. You should be bold and tell the government that you are reckless. If for nothing at all, me, I've been on record telling my own government before. Because it is about Ghana. And your man on the HH, and your parties. Niamu your man. Mube madachi ma bre my. It is not good. You're only looking at the interest of the MPP. MPP asa. Bet Nia ebe buama manu can call for dachi ma benyamu fazwanu. You don't have any interest. Just January, Musi Nkorambre school. In Koreko school 3 weeks, Musi Mumbre fie, and any week, almost Ambre school. What kind of educational system is that? And when I tell you the education minister doesn't know his left from his right, you said I don't have to say that. Why do you say children in Korambra school 3rd January? And almost 7th February, almost if education minister and him left from right, you won't do this kind of education rambling.
Don't even say. Yes, Dwaso Anthony Nkwenu ya
Boni be na Ghana for ya Akufo-Addo ni na ban. Boni be na ayom.
Yan Dwaso say you call 11. It looks as if say 11 no. Nsem.
Yes, Nsem.
And I still bebaso.
Oh, it's a choice. It's a choice. And Mr. Ghana for Muntie we have a choice of whether to raise revenue internally or to go and borrow. And Ghana keeps on borrowing. We don't want to borrow recklessly like the previous government did. We want to borrow for prudent measures. And that is why I stated what we are going to use the e-levy for. We've stated how much you are going to rake in and how much you are going to do. 1 month ago, if you had brought in that 1 month e-levy, Sikana, you can imagine the number of projects are able to make over 1 billion. The number of projects are not, we say, you contracted simple kakeka, you could have paid. But we've spot it because there is a particular government once this e-levy goes through, it's going to make and government uses their money prudently to do the necessary things. Now, it's going to make coming into government very, very difficult.
Fake.
How can we create that?
NDC is shallow to write such a letter to circulate.
Your letterhead.
We don't have a shallow executive in our party. So we can write that letter.
You sit here. You don't get any. Call him online and let's ask him. I'll be glad if you call him online and let's ask him.
Created by him.
I mean, I wonder why there are certain group of people who feel say rain or shine, we should make sure that this e-levy pass. Why? Because they are scared. Because they know what this government can do. Some say yes, spending recklessly. Some say you're reckless. Some say your ministers in your papa, as he is saying over here. Then go ahead and pass it so that we become unpopular. But you're afraid to do that. You're afraid to do that. We know what this can do for this country. We have sat down and looked at innovative ways. I hear him say, when you say about World Bank, Nadia borrow IMF. Now, my catcher say, men, J. Ngrofu, Jumum Bium. Men, yes, sir. Like you did for how many years? I says, yeah, Ngrofu. People go and stand in long queues just because there's a backlog, a big backlog. Look at how you people mismanaged. And we've come and you are putting things in place gradually. Then you come and sit here and say that what? Someone is this, someone. You have a personal AE with him, vendetta with him. Go and settle it outside. This is not the studio you sit here and come and sit down and insult people left, right, center for it. It's not right. Well, we are going to work hard and we believe that this e-levy could be passed. But says here, we are educating Ghanaians about what the e-levy stands for and what it's going to do. We don't want to go out and borrow and get more debts on our books. No, we won't do that. So what do? We sit down and we look at the innovative ways of. We've done this interoperability near the end now very well. We've put all the necessary things in place to make sure that all these things are working. All these e systems are working very well. Electronic systems are working very well. And I said, okay, based on that, we can get some revenue stream out of this.
Are you not getting already?
That's right.
With
your nice hat, you will talk. Your walking stick, you will talk. So you see, in the electronic AE system, we can get this revenue. The revenue is supposed to help us in completing our routes. The revenue is supposed to help us in building more schools, hospitals, other things. It's supposed to help the young ones. You feel that they want to start businesses on their own, to start their own business. That is the you starting idea, and you sit here and you condemn it because you don't see the foresight, you don't see the vision, you don't see the drive in which this country is moving to. When you don't see it, you lack. Our government and what now catch on say they are useless. So my government, I see what they are doing, and I believe. But you just said that you were able to tell your government when they were useless that they are useless, and they are still useless, because I don't see any better opposition you are bringing into. If you said the e-levy should not be done now, what better opposition are you bringing or alternative are you bringing instead of going to borrow?
I've showed you
instead of going to borrow.
Tax exemption alone can give us more than what e-levy will give us.
The tax exemption we are putting on fuel, don't worry about me, I'm okay. The tax exemption we are putting on fuel, because now it reduces that pay that the ordinary customer is getting. And we are not looking at NDC or ABO because Woko filling station, tax men kasano say we are doing exemptions on certain tax
companies that come to trade with us. The tax exemption we give
you get write it. Why are you so crude like that?
Write it. Crude.
Write it.
You are not understanding.
Write it down.
A finance man talking like this. It's a shame.
Write everything down. So I can talk when you. I can do the same thing when you are doing.
Tony, based
on your background, I don't want you to be that.
It doesn't matter. When you finish, I'll talk. When you finish, I'll talk.
No, but I can't be a lecturer, but I can tutor you small. Tell me, say, class exemption.
But I'm doing the
I mean, when they are worried that they are better and they are making the point now, they want to. I'm educating the public. So let me confuse the public, and when you come, you educate them, please. The American is saying, what's the tax exemptions? Yeah, man, for MPA and Cho say ye taxes be so. And all those tax exempts.
But you restore.
They haven't restored. They said they are going for another 2 months.
No.
You just read it that they are going for another 2 months.
Effective 1st February. No. I'm reading chill.
Say effective 1st February. No, yes. They have restored.
Yes.
That is why maybe this thing has gone up. So we'll look at it. We'll look at it and we'll see other ways of helping the. But at least for some months, we're able to take taxes off. Those are the exemptions we are talking about. So if you sit here and you start throwing tantrums in the air, I mean, I don't care about.
No,
but let me finish my. You write it down when you finish. No, let me write it down when you finish.
Yeah,
the moderator, and you don't want me to flow. Moderator won't be able flow. Mami flow here. Mami flow here. Mami flow here. Mami flow here. We want to use that question. They are here and they say, yes, young Bobosa. You go out of this country too, because when we go out and borrow now, it affects the ordinary person in the market. It affects the ordinary driver who is driving on a trotro or a taxi. It affects you and me. It affects everybody, and we are not going to do that as a government. What can I say? Nanado said that Dr. Bawumia stated categorically that we are not going to borrow because we can make money internally. Now he's showing you the ways of making money internally. We took our time, we put everything on paper, we looked at the way forward, and we said that going from this year forward, 2022 forward, we are not going to borrow. This is what we are going to do to finance our books. Now we started doing that now. Mose enye Mose ma speaker say mo pass ya ebeye yon popular speaker Mr. wo pass na yon popular na beje on my na bu. But at the moment they just make us unpopular by passing it. Let the people enjoy what they have to enjoy. The people will be happy because they've seen that money is going into prudent use. We are taking internally and we are fixing the roads. When you go to certain roads now, we won't say roads in the whole year. Now we will fix the trunk roads in so that food that is coming from the centers will become cheaper and better for us to buy. These are the things that and that is what is worrying them. You're so worried, say they are always fighting us against everything we are doing.
2 minutes.
And the Ghana's debt stock is 334 billion from 120 billion. And you see one Bobusia, one about 210 billion.
Did I say Yambobusa?
Who's Bobusia?
So listen to what I said. I said that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia said that we can make money internally without borrowing. We've sat down from 2016. We've put all the documentations in place. Now it's time that we say we are not going to borrow that much.
Because the financial market
we are not going to borrow that much.
And the first time they are
oh yes, we have to borrow to put things in place.
Don't want to borrow.
No, we don't.
Thank you.
We borrowed, but we don't want to continue that way.
You don't like,
and that is what you know. Please.
And the financial market is not accepting.
I accept you.
They're not going to borrow you.
You are accepting
bond. Zero.
Say what you want.
Nobody wants to subscribe to Ghana's bond because of reckless and irresponsible. The financial market today doesn't even have trust in the finance minister of Ghana because now no the be kasa ye ene e kam mini. Remember, man can't we will be that say you don't want to go and borrow. You don't even have the avenue. A kwanya mube namsu akobo busianu kwa munibi. Enunti na mupe ilevi na mudi akosi awa aji close to $10 billion for the next 25 years. Wahanye ngmene wahanye wo. We in the NDC will not support the approval. But if the NPP you saw 138 the approval, we are calling on the maximum number of Ghanaians to withdraw their services from Momo tax. Then we'll see whether they will do it or not. Ghanaians are going to withdraw. The Momo agents. David says, "You now see your parliament budget reading. There was panic withdrawal. Look, you won't get. I'm telling you one thing. That I gave you 2 areas that government can make money. So then you could see one warehousing of goods in this country. 2, tax exemption. And your petrol tax is in America. More power, not in Germany. Are you getting me? But because chronism and nepotism, it's a no that's a missing besi Kwashobo factory beer, Yamami exemptions be bring. Today, let's go back to the free zones law and look at what then they are passing. Maybe at the time I say the free zone banu, you certain exemption regime to entice investors, and then is that it happening? And then maybe the company banner exempt me, sir, 5 years, sir, 3 years. I'm a full year. I'm a slowly company. I'm a sempa. No, so I can tax exemption. Is that how we can build a country? Asempa, tell me. These are things as a country. You fixing your name. No, there are things it is inimical to the growth of the Ghanaian. It's only empowering the expatriates and the foreign investor. Let's see FDI, foreign direct investment. How much are we gaining? We can make it, and it will be attractive for the Ghanaian. Me and you, Thompson, you bet me in your investment a year than we giving these opportunities to Obi Ofram and Oneba, no Obesi company now. 3 years, 4 years, no Atom company, no money.
2 minutes
no, so apply new.
Me that say as I'm drinking.
These are things government can do.
My pound.
We are going to E11.
I say there be 1 minute.
Oh,
and
1
we
minute
make a
run
lot
up.
of money.
30 seconds.
Stop the laziness as a government.
Me that say.
We are quadro. Who person two people now? What can you say?
Man Bogan.
Oh, people say me two muna, but that is what this government is.
Omunim ya na go man boga na abro am person be bo abro nti the American say whatever we have to do to make sure that this country grows in the ye there is na fata bia say ye Ghana put ba no ye be ye and I'm telling them that we are not going to borrow, we are going to work hard within, we are going to get money within, we are going to make revenue within and make sure that we use it prudently to make sure that this country grows.
I was your uncle no ma the me to remember so Yamene Hene. Mami Fase Dama Alfred Thompson, MPP Central Regional Chairman hopeful. And Anthony Nukbeno, Greater Accra Regional Organizer, NDC. DJ Awana, you are 05, Aisha Ibrahim, Emmanuel Efriye, Kofi Hassan, the man. Also, Ganiko Jofojo. That's right. I'm going to ma the year they met to me. Oh. You won't bless me. Thank you, bro. And as well. At Jabusia, Medawasi.